audible and visible to all of you? Good morning, Anandu, and good morning, other people as well. So, let me just check. And if you can see me and hear me clearly, if there is no issue at all, just write it in the comment section. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today we'll do Hindu analysis of 4th September 2025. So, am I audible? Am I visible to all of you? Shubham Sagar. Today we'll do Hindu analysis of. Yeah, I think I can hear my voice fine. So let's start the discussion. Hindu analysis, 4th September 2025. As we do every day, I have given you two questions yesterday and we will discuss the answer of those two questions. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with me on Telegram family channel. But this is inactive. But yes, let's say someday in future, if I'm not taking any Hindu class or if it is delayed, that information will be conveyed in this Telegram channel. So you can always join this channel. Any urgent news, I will give it here. So yesterday I gave two questions. This was MCQ 12, Supreme Court. Okay. So good morning Jivayana, good morning Shayada, good morning Rishi, good morning Shiparna. Very good. Yeah. So let's continue the discussion. This is MCQ 12. What is the answer of MCQ 12? Supreme Court after late judgment in Tamil Nadu governor case. This was the last article of yesterday's news analysis, Hindu analysis rather. So what was the Supreme Court judgment in the Tamil Nadu governor case? What is the answer of MCQ 12? And let's do it fast. And again, there are some good articles today, very good articles, very tricky and technical articles. So Shripada has given the answer. Bill pendings for more than 3 months would have deemed to have been or have received assent. So that is the answer of MCQ 12. Shriparna, Jiva and Anandu Rishi, all of you have given the answer. MCQ 13. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? 143, 200, 201. Shriparna, Jiva and Anandu Rishi. So MCQ 13. Again, last article only. So Jivana has given the answer. All the three are correct. Under Article 200, Governor, as we have discussed in the last article of yesterday's Hindu analysis, Governor has four options: give assent, withhold assent, return the bill for reconsideration, reserve the bill for consideration of President. Then when the bill is reserved for President consideration, he can give assent, withhold assent. And if he has withhold assent, then that message can be conveyed to Legislative Assembly and they have 6 months time to amend that particular bill and send it again to President. So that all these things are there in Article 201. So the answer is D1, 2 and 3 as stated by Jivayana, Anandu Rishi and Shriparna. Cool. So MCQ 12B, MCQ 13, D. Very nice. So let's come back to the present. This is the first article of the day, page 6 editorial. India's recent maritime reforms need course correction. GS3, infrastructure, ports, very important. So again, here there will be terms. This is a tricky article. Good morning, Mamta. This is a tricky article. There are so many tricky terms involved here. We have to focus on the keywords which are important. We have to focus on the key things which Abhijit Singh sir is saying, who is a retired naval officer, as you can see here. So what are the keywords which are important in this particular editorial? Sagar Mala project, how it is different from Bharat Mala project. Gati Shakti initiative, we have talked about it in the previous Hindu analysis, but again today we will connect Gati Shakti with Sagar Mala and Bharat Mala. And then what this editorial is talking about, centralization, too much centralization in the current bills. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons of this editorial as well, like why centralization is needed. Let's say sometimes we talk about democracy and dictatorship. Even dictatorship is good when you think of China. It's not totally dictatorial, but you can understand they have a uniformity of policies. And in democracy, to and fro policies changes. Similarly, here also we'll try to understand if government is doing centralization, what is the benefit of that particular centralization? So why this editorial we are talking about, Indian Port Bill was passed in Rajya Sabha. So again, why it has been passed? Because we want to modernize our ports. Our ports are very outdated when you compare it with the ports of the rest of the world, the big ports. So there are different bills here. We are not going into this bill. What will be the criticism? That it has not been, not much discussion happened in Rajya Sabha. It was not sent to standing committee. There is too much centralization, too much power with center. If center does not have too much power, let's try to understand this. I'm not taking any side here. I'm just telling you one particular point of view here, that if central is not doing uniformity when it comes to ports, then every port will have their own mandate based on the state government which is ruling there. And sometimes you need to modernize ports, sometimes you need to have uniform ports with certain standard, and that's why centralization is needed. This is one point where you will try to justify centralization. It's not like always centralization is good. Okay, so these port bill has been passed. Positive aspects: updates fragmented and outdated maritime regulation. You can also connect it with GST. When GST was not there, there were in different states different indirect taxes were there. Octroi was there in Maharashtra, etc. There was so much non-uniformity. Goods were priced at different uh, because of different taxes, different indirect taxes. Because of GST, there is some amount of uniformity. So here also, when you have these bills, there is some amount of uniformity when it comes to managing ports. But then there are issues as well. It promotes ease of business. The people who are coming from outside to invest in India, they are seeing some uniformity, and that is sometimes needed. But that the other point is, when you're doing too much centralization, you are undermining federalism. Oh my God, my handwriting. So that is the other point which you have to. So again, we can never make everyone happy, as you can see here. There is a concept which I keep on talking about, which is known as utilitarianism. Maximum benefit for maximum people, and you have to take into, like, when government is doing something, Sardar Sarovar Dam, Narmada Bachao Andolan, again the same concept, utilitarianism, which you will read a lot in GS paper 4 ethics. Maximum benefit for maximum people. Cool. Now let's focus on this article, this editorial. So, criticism of Indian port bill: process concern, passed without thorough debate in Rajya Sabha, no standing committee reference. This is a common theme with this current government. Not too much discussion happened, but again, we are not criticizing, we are even talking about the benefits of centralization of power. As you can see here, there is a maritime state development council which will be chaired by union minister, and they will direct state. Obviously, states like Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, who always does not have a very good relation with center, they will not like this. And too much centralization undermining federalism, GS means paper 2. So this is one point. But what is the other point? You need uniformity, you need other countries to come and invest. They want to have better ports, and that's why some amount of centralization is needed. Now these terms: Sagar Mala, Gati Shakti, Bharat Mala. So what is Sagar Mala? Again, to modernize ports. Sagar Mala, Bharat Mala, associated with road infrastructure. PM Gati Shakti, multimodal connectivity. Multimodal connectivity. That means roads, railways, everything is connected. It's not like you have railways at one place and then you don't have anything linking railways to where you will go. Like, you have metros, but metro is not providing you last mile connectivity. Then you have to take an auto rickshaw, etc., etc. You can think of PM Gati Shakti in that way. It is ensuring multimodal connectivity. So whenever you're reading, I will come back to this editorial. Whenever we are reading these terms, let's read them all together. So these are the three terms: Sagar Mala, Bharat Mala, and PM Gati Shakti. They're linked. Sagar Mala. Sagar is ocean, right? So when was it launched? 2015. Bharat Mala 17. Gati Shakti 21. Gati Shakti we have talked about earlier as well. Sagar Mala, port-led development, Ministry of Port. Bharat Mala, again, roadways. As the Bharat Mala, you cannot deduce from Bharat Mala that it is about roadway. You can deduce from Sagar Mala that it is about ports. But Bharat Mala is road transport. And then PM Gati Shakti is combining all of them, multimodal connectivity. And it is nodal ministry is Ministry of Commerce. This you cannot deduce. You can't deduce. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you can make mistake here. So this is one point which you have to keep in mind. PM Gati Shakti connecting all of them together, because we need last mile connectivity, and PM Gati Shakti will ensure that. So all these three things you have to read, not in silos but together. Very good. Now let's come back to this editorial. So this editorial is talking about Maritime State Development Council, how centralization will be done. We know what is the benefit of that as well. But the not so good part: fiscal autonomy, reduced state use flexibility in port management, dispute resolution. Now this is an interesting part. Karthik, calling Karthik. So let's say I have some issues with Mamta, then I'm going to Mamta's father and complaining about it. That will not serve the purpose. Obviously, Mamta's father will take the side of Mamta. Same way you can see here, dispute resolution. It is handled by the committee, which is, under the same authority which I am challenging. So that is one issue which is here. So you can talk about this. This is a very common issue when it comes to bureaucratic hurdles in India. So yeah, this point. Hope you understood some portion of this point. Hope you're understanding the keywords associated with this editorial: Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, Gati Shakti, and all. Then concerns with Merchant Shipping Act. Now there are some terms, cabotage rules. We have to understand these terms, just like we have understood Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, and PM Gati Shakti. So we'll come to cabotage. First of all, let's focus here. Indian flagged vessels had to be fully Indian owned. So there are vessels which are going from India to, let's say, different countries. Earlier, it had to be Indian owned. Now, even OCI citizens and foreign entities can have some amount of ownership. Now, the problem here is executive has been empowered to relax ownership. So if you have Indian flagged vessels, whether it has to be fully Indian owned, how much percentage OCIs, overseas citizen of India and foreign entities will have the ownership, that is dependent on executive. So you can again say too much power given to executive, and this can lead to red tapeism. Red tapeism, hope you understood. Like executive has too much say in certain things. Over regulation. All vessels has to be registered. So when you are doing any kind of small trade, like even the fishermen's, if they have some vessels, they have to register it. So it is burdensome. It will increase the work of operators. Again, hope you're understanding the basic intricacies of these bills related to ports. Anyway, we don't like to read about GS3 infrastructure, ports. So you have to understand what is happening in these bills, centralization. Then Indian flagged vessels has to do not have to be fully Indian owned. Even OCI citizens could own it, but how much ownership will be with which entity, that will be determined by executive. So again, that can lead to rate tapism, all these things. Vessels has to be registered. So if you understood some part of it. And then the coastal shipping rule, cabotage rules. Now this is a term. Just like Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, Gati Shakti, cabotage rule is a term. What is the meaning? So you have India, let's say some goods has to be transferred from one Indian port to another Indian port. So this is cabotage rule. Who will transfer these, things? So only Indian flagships in domestic coastal trade will transfer these things. So if a good has to be transferred from, let's say, Jawaharlal Nehru port to any port of, which port? Let's say Chennai port. Then it has to be done by Indian vessels only. So this is cabotage rule. Hope you understood. This is about transfer of goods between domestic ports. That is cabotage rule. That is the basic meaning here. Cool. So hope you understood some part of this article. The key words here is again Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Gati Shakti, cabotage rules, and we'll solve some questions. You will understand, and you have to revise this article, and then you will not forget it. And you can make your notes when you're wherever you're making notes of GS3. In GS3 ports, you can talk about these issues, centralization thing, and then Indian vessels, who will be the owner, and then Bharat, Sagarmala and all those stuff. And then Gati Shakti also you can include in ports. You can include Gati Shakti anywhere and everywhere. Now let's solve some questions so that you can remember whatever we have just discussed. Let's MCQ 1. So Sagarmala program primarily focuses on, again, a technical article this was, but yes, these are the types of article. I'm very sure many people do Hindu analysis, right? Many people will not take this article. Why? Because there are so much technicalities which are involved in this article. So Jivayan, Shriparna, Rishi, Mamta, Anandu, Shaida, they have given the answer. Sagarmala program primarily focuses on port-led development, including connectivity and coastal community development. Now there are criticism also of the Sagarmala project. So this is about, port-led development. The criticism is when you're promoting port-led infrastructure, you can disturb the fragile ecosystem of that particular region, fragile ecosystem. And again, the issue starts, or the talk starts about economic development versus environmental conservation. So this is one criticism of Sagarmala project. If they ask you a direct mains question, we'll solve one mains question today as well. So let's be with me. Be with me. What is let's be with me? So MCQ2, which of the following are components of Bharatmala Pariyojana? Now do option elimination in this question. If you're doing option elimination, you will be able to solve this particular question. Very good. Economic corridors, coastal and port connectivity, roads, national corridor efficiency improvement, river interlinking project. Which of the following are components of Bharatmala Pariyojana? Vishwas has given the answer. Vishwas, do you have? Okay. So yes, so let's focus here. So Bharatmala project associated with road. Road is the keyword here, right? So river interlinking project, why would they do that? Why would they do river interlinking, bro? So just eliminate four. You're getting the answer A, 1, 2, and 3 only, as first stated by Shriparna, then Jivayana, then Mamta, then Rishi, then Anandu. Very good. Next article of the day, page number 8. So now, this article, so many terms, so many judgments, so many arguments given by Dr. Ambedkar sir, other people, so many fundamental rights. One of the most important articles you will read. So reservation, we all have our own views on reservation. Now Tejasvi Yadav sir, who is very Tejasvi, with due respect to Tejasvi sir, he's saying that he will bring 85% reservation in Bihar if his party comes to power. Now here we'll talk about subcategorization within SC, STs. What is this subcategorization thing? Again, one of the most important article from any exam perspective you are reading, from pre-mains, every perspective. So let's talk about this article, and via this we'll go into different arenas. So Tejasvi Yadav, leader of opposition Bihar, is saying that if his alliance comes to power, reservation would increase to 85%. There are so many things here. So there are terms like subcategorization within SC/ST. What is the meaning here? Within SC and ST also, there are certain groups like Meena community. You may have heard about Meena community in Rajasthan. So they are the ones who takes maximum seed. So they are saying that even here, let's do a subcategorization so that other communities are also getting benefited. What will be the demerit of it? The demerit here is that there are many seats in SC/ST, OBCs, which are not which are vacant. Nobody has taken it because those seats were not filled. So when seats are not filled under OBC, SC, ST, means SC, ST category, they are confirmed or they are reverted back to general seats. So if you are doing all these subcategorization, that could lead to more vacancies within OBC, within SC and STs, thereby converting them from reserved to unreserved category. So there are so many arguments, so many talks which we have to understand. And then there are talks related to why 85% reservation. Because in Bihar, OBC, SC, ST percentage is very high. General category is very low. So many people, they talk about reservation from this perspective also. That give us reservation based on the percentage of population we are having in that particular region. But then there are different judgment which says that earlier the cap was less than 50%. Then there were different judgment which says that yes, even now it is less than 50%. EWS does not count because this reservation is not on the basis of social criteria. It is based on the basis of economic criteria. We'll see those different judgments. Those judgments are very important from exam perspective because they can ask you in like Indra Sahni judgment is known for what? Introducing creamy layer. Which fundamental rights deal with the reservation provisions, which is also known as positive affirmation. So you have to understand the pros and cons. Mains question can be asked, and they have been asked multiple times. Benefits and not so good things. Tejasvi is very famous. Okay, Rishi, okay, so what we were discussing here. So Tejasvi Yadav sir has said something. Supreme Court has sought Union government's response on a petition demanding creamy layer system for SC/STs. Just like we have creamy layer for OBCs, same way we should have a creamy layer. The people, the well-affluent people in SC/ST community who have taken the advantage of positive affirmation, or it means reservation from last 2-3 generations, they are good to do. They are well off. So maybe they should be excluded from this reservation system so that the not so well off people in SC/ST community, they are getting the most of these reservation systems. So that is one point. Sir, in every state, only OBC and STs are more than general. Yes, GYN. GYN is such a good girl. So now, which articles deal with reservation? Positive affirmation 15 and 16. They talk about equality, right to equality, but within that also there are certain exceptions. Why? Because if you read history, you have read history. We have talked about, Fahian, he coming to Chandragupta II. He was in India during Chandragupta II period, and he said that in India, when these people, Doma Chandalas, Badhataus, they're entering into a city, they are striking the door with a wood or the gate with a wood, and then the people are dispersing. So there has been social discrimination from time immemorial. Then there were terms also. If you read caste system, you will realize that Shudras are at the beck and will of others, a beck and call of others. Shudra can be made to rise at will. Shudra can be beaten at will. So you can understand, to undo the social discrimination, we have reservation system. And earlier, the cap was less than 50%. Then EWS criteria came. This is based on not social condition, but on economic condition. Now, many people say that economic criteria is a transient criteria. It's a temporary criteria. You are poor now. you will not be poor forever. Let's say, I will give you my example. Let's say 1 month, 2 months back, I was working somewhere, I was earning a handsome salary, I was awesome then. Now I have started my own venture. I will keep on doing it for next 1 year. I will not be rich anymore. I'll be somewhat poor. I cannot never earn that much amount, but I am doing it because I want independence. So this economic criteria is very transient in nature. You are rich now, you can be poor later, and vice versa. So based on that, whether we should give reservation or not, that's a argument you can debate about. So now, total reservation at center is 59.5%. Before EWS, it was 49.5%. Please, hope you are understanding where we are going with this, what we are discussing here. So now, judicial ruling. Balaji versus Mysore case 62, they said that reservation should be less than or capped at 50% because there has to be some merit. Like, if you keep on giving reservation, merit will take a backseat. People will start doing brain drain, which is anyway happening in our country. So to undo brain drain, to promote meritocracy, put a cap of 50%. Indra Sani, creamy layer quota. They can ask you. Indra Sani judgment is known for what? Introducing creamy layer criteria. Janhit Abhiyan, 10% EWS criteria. They are saying that 50% ceiling is not violated because that was based on the backward classes social, uh, you know, affirmation based on social criterion. EWS is affirmation based on economic criterion. So it upheld 10% EWS quota. People debate about it. I will give you my example. I doesn't do not come under EWS. I'm a general, but there is one brother of mine who is like from my uncle's side. He comes under EWS because he was from a very very poor family, and he has done so good, so good. So I'm very proud of that. But then I have other views also. So hope you can understand. You can have your own views on this issue as well. So, but social equality is not done to that community like SC, ST. I got your point, Jivayan. So, Punjab versus Devinder Singh, they are saying that there should be a creamy layer within SC, ST as well. There are, as we have talked about, MENA community. We love MENA community. Many of my friends who were there I was in NIT Agartala, you may know about it. So many of my friends were there from MENA community. Many of the IS, IPS officers are MENA community. We're not targeting MENA community. We're just saying they have done very good. These are the people who have taken maximum advantage when it comes to ST reservation. Other communities should follow suit. Okay. And we love Minas, and I love them. So, competing arguments. Dr. Ambedkar has said that reservation should be confined to minorities. And then, backward communities argues that, now this is the point we were talking about. In Bihar, the percentage of backward communities is much, much larger than 50%. And that's why they are saying that, let's say, backward communities are 70%, give us 70% reservation. And that's why BB Tejaswi Yadav sir is, sir, I should not use sir for political leaders. He's talking about 85% reservation. Practical issues, 40. Now, this is the point. 40-50% reserve seats remain vacant. So, if you do this creamy layer thing within SC, STs and all those categorization, etc., they will become unreserved because they're anyway vacant. So, there are so many things to think about, ponder about when you're talking about this particular issue. So, hope you understood the basic gist and rationale. So, Rohini Commission, 97% of OBC quota taken by 25% of OBC subcaste. So we were talking about STs. In ST, you have MENA community taking maximum advantage. Here, MENAs are ST or STs? Scheduled caste or scheduled tribes. Here in OBC also, there are certain subcastes which are taking maximum benefit. So maybe we can do subcategorization. There are many OBCs which are so not well off that they are not taking benefit or even reservation. So we can do subcategorization. The people who have taken advantage, they can be removed. Similar benefits concentration exists in SC, ST communities. So hope you understood. No creamy layer exclusion for SC, ST. Debate is ongoing whether we should do subcategorization there as well. Now, why there should not be creamy layer for SC, ST? Because anyway the seats are vacant, and if we do some more categorization, more seats will be vacant when it comes to SC, ST categorization. So many reserve posts remain unfulfilled. So creamy layer exclusion may increase backlog, and when you have backlog vacancies, they are converted to unreserved seats. So these are some issues related to this particular scenario, which pertinent scenario, which keeps on talking about it, like we keep on talking about it rather. So now raising reservation to 85%, what will happen? It will violate right to equality of opportunity. Do you support this argument that we should raise the uh, reservation to 85%? And then many people are like, census will happen in 2027. Based on that, you will have data, and then you can fix reservation levels. Center, they have capped it at 59.5%. States, they have their own reservation percentage. Remember these terms, these words, these are the keywords which we have to keep in mind. Subcategorization given by Rohini Commission among OBC is necessary. And then SC, ST, you can have a two-tier system. The most marginalized should get maximum benefits. And skill, again, these reservations, that is not the solution, man. The solution is skill development and employability. Many organizations, many institutions, many companies, they don't take people, not because, you know, they don't want to, but because they are not employable, rote learning. So we have to focus on skill development and employability. That's what they are talking about. These are the points which you will write in your mains answer when they talk about reservation, the pros and cons, and then the way forward. Reservation policy crossroad, demand for expansion. There are many people who are very, very angry when you leave, like, miss a particular seat by 1 marks and 2 marks. You are scarred for life. So it's not a straightforward scenario where we can have our own judgment and all. It varies from people to people. So again, caste census, subcategorization, skill development, all these things will go a long way in promoting the inclusive growth in our country. Let's solve some question. This is a question based on the previous article. There is a high chance that question can be asked on reservation at prelims, mains, and interview. Very good, Mamta. Mamta is such a good girl. Who is a good girl? Mamta is a good girl. So, what is true about PM Gati Shakti? Japanese. Japanese fast. It uses a GI based, again, use option elimination. GI based digital platform integrating data of 16 ministries. It focuses only on road and rail connectivity. It aims to reduce logistic cost in India. So Jivayana, Mamta, Shriparna. Okay, so we have talked about Bharat Mala, Sagar Mala, and then Gati Shakti. Gati Shakti is multi-modal connectivity, last mile connectivity promotion. So why would it focus only on road and rail? So second is wrong, eliminate second. You are getting the answer C, 1 and 3 only, as stated by GY and Mamta. Shiparna tried it and Rishi also tried it. Only thing, bro, Gati Shakti, multi-modal connectivity, more than 10 plus ministries, their data has been synergized. Shiparna, are you understanding why we have gone with C and not with B? MCQ 4. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution empower the state to make provisions for reservation? Article 20, 15, 16, 22. Very good. Shipanna is a good girl. So Jivayana has given the answer for. And yes, bro, why do you people hate me? 16 watching, like only 9. Please like, share, subscribe, bro. I am dependent on you people. Do you want me to continue Hindu analysis or not? Like, share, subscribe, spread it, spread the word. I just want to do this whole my life. Till the time I'm alive, I want to do Hindu analysis. I love it. So, article of the Indian Constitution which empowers. We have discussed 15 and 16. This is seen as an exception. You have to remove social discrimination. So the answer is B, 2 and 3 only. If you go back to the article, you will see it. So GY and Rishi Shiparna Anandu, they have given the answer. The answer is B. MCQ 5. Which of the following correctly represents the total percentage of reservation at the center? This will not be asked by UPSC. This can be asked by some other exam, but we should know about it. 49.5%, 50%, 59.5%, 60%. How much cap? Like, we have just seen the numbers. Jivana has given the answer. Jivana, Rishi, Mamta. Is it 49.5%? 27 it was, 15 it was, 7.5 it was, and then 10 it was, right? 42, 49.5, 59.5. People, you people are fan of Gajni or what? Short-term memory loss? See this? Where was it? Let me show you this. Can you see this? Current central reservation architect means structure 27, 15, 7.5, 10. So that is 59.5. Center has 59.5% reservation. In states, it varies, but center has 59.5% reservation. Why you people are like Gajini? Gajini. So answer is 59.5%, and none of you stated it. Anandu stated it. Shiparna stated it. Very good. Let's move on. So again, if you like this video, share it, subscribe it, spread it far and wide. You can have like buy this Hindu analysis PDF from me at 199 per month. Thereby, you'll be supporting me. I have switched from riches to rags by leaving my job, but sometimes you have to take a risk to go forward in life. You can also be a part of my mentorship program, and this is a one-time payment. You don't have to pay it for it monthly, 4999, and there is no time limit to it. For like, but again, people should not be making it a Panchvarshya Yojana 5-year plan, and that is the aim. So yesterday I got a call from someone that, sir, whether you are including optional in mentorship or not. See, mentorship is like, what is mentorship? You can see here, means answer evaluation, doubt solving, motivation, Hindu analysis PDF. You don't have to pay for Hindu analysis PDF. That is included in mentorship. So these things are included. He was like, my optional is geography, and I love that kid. He's an awesome kid from Jammu. His optional was geography. I have never read geography as optional, bro. My optional is history. So the purpose of mentorship is I will help you in any way I can. If your optional is history, maybe I can help you in that. I will help you in GS, all subjects. You can send me your answers. I will help you in mental support. If you need to talk to me for 10 minutes, I will help you in that. If you want to tell me what you have done throughout your day, I can help you with that. If you want to talk to me for 10 minutes every day, I can help you with that. If you want to have some material from me related to different subjects, if I have it, I will help you in that. I will help you in every way possible. But I could not lie to him that I will help in optional geography. That is not the purpose of mentorship. It varies from people to people. I've also attached one video in the home tab what mentorship is all about. This is not one size fit all approach. It varies from people to people. And also you can donate. Let's move on. Third article of the day, page number 13. So cabinet approves, see this, 1500 crore scheme for critical minerals recycling. Now again, there are terms here. National Critical Minerals Mission, launched in 2025, will be going on till 2030-31. What are these critical minerals? Lithium is a critical mineral, lithium ion batteries. Then you have different critical minerals, and in lithium you have lithium triangle countries, where electric vehicles, lithium ion batteries, we need it. What are the lithium ion countries? Anybody having any idea? Lithium ion countries? Chipundis fast. Chiputansu ledu kadu. Where were we? I forgot. So yes, lithium triangle. The mnemonic is ABC: Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. So they produce lithium too, and we need these critical minerals. They are needed for making electric equipments for lithium-ion batteries and all those. And we will be recycling it now. So cabinet has approved this 1500 crore mission, which we have to keep in mind. So let's focus here. So approval, Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Modi sir. Again, you can read all these things. 1500 crore incentive scheme now. Recycling capacity, what we are trying to do. So you have your laptop, you throw it somewhere or the other. We will take that means laptop, we will recycle it, we will produce critical minerals from it. So lithium is one, copper, nickel, cobalt, and all rare earth elements. They are critical minerals covered under National Critical Mineral Mission, launched in 2025, will be going on till 2030-31. And again, what they are doing, they're recycling things, recycling e-waste, electronic waste, discarded waste. So remember these: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. Very good, Jivayan and Shipanna. They're so good. So let's focus. And who, like, what they are recycling: e-waste, lithium ion batteries. You can see here. Beneficiaries, this is important. They can tell you that only large recyclers are eligible. No, even small new beneficiaries, they are eligible, and they can recycle these e-waste to produce critical mineral, because they are critical. In fact, the small new beneficiaries, they will get 1/3 of the total outlay reserved. Like, let's say 1500, if you take example of 1500 crore, so 500 crore will be allocated to them. So again, a technical thing, incentive given to this, blah blah blah. I can have a look at this. Let's focus on some questions so that you can remember stuff. This is just a one liner. The things which are important is critical mineral mission launched in which particular year, going on till what, and what they are trying to do. Then what are the critical minerals? Lithium, lithium triangle, this and that. Now let's focus on MCQ 6 based on the previous article which we have done. Very good, Rishi. So, large number of reserve posts against the application of creamy layer principle. We have just discussed that there is a creamy layer principle, right? And people are talking about this creamy layer principle in SC/ST. You have this in OBC. What will happen if creamy layer is there? Why people are saying we should not have creamy layer concept in SC and STs? So, Shriparna, large number of reserve posts may remain vacant if you have we already have a lot of vacant seats when it comes to SC and ST reservation. When you introduce one more criteria, obviously more number of seats will remain vacant. So first is correct. Exclusion of creamy layer may increase backlog vacancy. Exclusion or inclusion of creamy layer. So if you are, no, not exclusion, inclusion. So inclusion of creamy layer may increase backlog vacancy. If you're again, if you're adding one more criteria that there will be a creamy layer thing and all, so what will happen? Only few people are now eligible to apply. Exclusion here, exclusion word is fine. Exclusion of creamy layer means the people who are well off in SC/ST community, they will be excluded. So if you exclude a certain portion, even now without exclusion, there are so many seats vacant. If you exclude more people, more seats will remain vacant and it will increase backlog vacancy. So second is also correct. You're left with A and D now. Backlog vacancy may eventually be converted. We have seen that. That happens into unreserved seats. So all these three are correct argument to justify the point that we should not have this creamy layer principle in SC and ST. People, are you understanding why D is the answer? Large number of reserved seats may remain vacant. There are already some of the seats which are vacant. If you are excluding creamy layer, more seats will remain vacant. More vacancies will be there, and backlog vacancies will be converted to unreserved seats, thereby undermining the whole reservation system. So the answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. Are you understanding it? Or should I say more? As Kareena Kapoor used to say in Jab We Met. Hope you understood. Let's solve MCQ 7. With reference to recently approved 1500 crore incentive scheme under NCMM, consider the following statement. Again, try to do option elimination in this particular question. Cool. So, it seeks to develop recycling capacity for critical minerals from secondary sources. The scheme will be implemented from fiscal year 25-26 to 2031. Only large established recyclers are eligible for incentives. As we have discussed, even the small recyclers are eligible. One third is amount is allocated for small recyclers. So third is wrong. If you eliminate third, you're left with A and B. Second, you have to check. Yes, scheme will be implemented from 25-26 to 30-31. So the answer is A, 1 and 2 only, as stated by Anandu, Jiva and Rishi, Shiparna, Akriti and Mamta. Very good here. Now page number 12. NHRC issues notice to Punjab after dog carries infant head. So again, we are not trying to pose a very vivid imagery here. We are concerned with NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, which is a statutory body. It is not mentioned in Constitution. Means created by Protection of Human Rights Act, which was passed in 1990s. It is called as a toothless tiger because it can recommend. Its advices are not binding. It can just recommend. So we'll solve one mains question also on toothless tiger. UPSC has already asked multiple PYQs on NHRC. So what is happening here? In Patiala, Punjab, something happened. A stray dog was seen carrying the severed head of a infant in Rajendra Hospital. Rajendra Hospital guys, they are saying that there's no baby which is missing. So maybe somebody dumped this particular baby outside the hospital and then the dog carried their head. But NHRC has taken suo motu. Now again, there are terms which you have to understand. Suo motu, NHRC 1993. Very good, Rishi. Suo motu means on its own. So sometimes that happens even in PIL when Supreme Court takes into account PIL, public interest litigation. Sometimes Supreme Court on its own take certain cases that okay, we feel like this is a case which needs urgent attention. We are taking suo motu on its own. So do remember this word suo motu. And now NHRC is saying that this is a very serious human rights violation. Think about those people who may have seen dog carrying the head of an infant. How would they have felt? So It's a serious human rights violation, and that's what their work is, NHRC's work, to look into gross human rights violation. We have talked about, we'll keep on talking about this AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which is implemented in some of the northeastern states, Kashmir, and then there were allegations that some officials were involved in rape and this and that. So NHRC was very, very prompt in saying stuff. But then NHRC's recommendation, nobody takes it seriously. And that's why it is said as a toothless tiger, that, sometimes you have to take, if nobody's taking you seriously, if your recommendations are just advisory in nature, if you don't have proper, you know, machinery to carry out your operation, what is the use of being created, right? So establishment set up under Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. It's a statutory body, it's not a constitutional body, it's a quasi judicial body, just like tribunal, which we have discussed yesterday. Which were the articles dealing with tribunals, what we have talked about yesterday? Articles dealing with tribunals. Do tell it. So again, headquarter New Delhi, inquire into complaints of human rights violation, visit jail detention center. You can see these things. Recommend remedial measures. They are advisory body. Encourage research awareness. Intervene in court proceedings. They can even impose fine, but they cannot impose jail term and this and that. They can impose fine. They have that power. But all in all, they're very toothless. Power of a civil court, they can summon, document, recommend compensation, but recommendations are not binding. Limitations, this is one thing which you have to keep in mind. So let's say if something happened 1 year before or more than 1 year before, they cannot inquire into those cases. They can inquire into cases only which is be like less than 1 year old. Recommendations advisory, cannot directly punish violators. State governments discard them, don't listen to them, and that's why UPSC has framed questions on them, mains questions, that they are like toothless tiger. 323A, 323B. Very good, Jivayan and Rishi. So see this particular question. Discuss the role of NHRC in protecting human rights in India. Why is it often termed a toothless tiger? 10 marks, 150 words. So if I give you this particular question, if I ask you to write something on it, what will you write on it? What will be your points? So if you see this, we always talk about mains question, dividing mains question into intro, body and conclusion, right? So in the intro part, you will talk about NHRC, it's a statutory body created by Protection of Human Rights Act, how the guy who will be the chairman, he has to be a, judge of Supreme Court. He has to be eligible for that. You can talk about all those things. That will be the intro part. In the body part, you will talk about what is their jurisdiction, they can inquire into complaints, etc. And in the body only, you will talk about why they are called as toothless tiger, because their recommendations are advisory in nature. They have too much cases, too much pendencies, and they are just quasi judicial body. State governments sometimes ignore them, because of which they are known as toothless tiger. And then in conclusion, you have to talk about how more power has to be bestowed upon NHRC if you want to see their proper functioning. So that's how you will go intro, body and conclusion. I keep on telling people that don't you know discard intro and conclusion. Even if you have time, positively write one line intro, one line conclusion, because as we have discussed earlier, my voice is gone, conclusion gives you closure. If let's say Rishi's girlfriend, if he was not a brahmacharya, if Rishi's girlfriend had run away without telling him why she ran away, we keep on giving this example, he would not have got the closure. So conclusion gives you closure. We all need closure in our life. And that's why one line intro, one line conclusion is very much needed. So in intro, you can talk about NHRC, statutory, this and that. And in the body part, what is their role? Inquiry, judicial oversight, prison reforms, they talk about it, awareness, education, compensation. But why they are called as toothless tiger, that would be the second part of the body, advisory role. Cannot, this is an important point, cannot investigate cases older than 1 year. And then punitive power, they cannot punish, dependence on government, overburden. And then you have to talk about how they have more power has to be given to them. If you have any more points of your own, you can post it in the comment section. Let's solve MCQ 8 based on the previous article. So which of the following countries are major global producer of lithium, often referred to as lithium triangle? So G. Vayana has given the answer. Jeevayana, Rishi, Mamta. And the mnemonic for lithium triangle is ABC. Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. A, 1, 2, and 3 only. MCQ 9. Which of the following statement about NHRC is or are correct? Very simple question. Oh my god, Rishi. Some questions will be tough. Some questions were tough. This was a simple question. So, which of the following statement about NHRC is or are correct? It's a constitutional body established under Part 3 of the Constitution. It's a constitutional body. We know it's not a constitutional body. It's a statutory body, right? So Jeevayana, Anandu, Mamta, you have given the answer. Shriparna has given the answer. So it's not a constitutional body. So first is wrong. If you eliminate first, you're like, oh my god. You don't even need to check for anything. If you just know the first one, that's done. C2 only. Quasi-judicial body, yes, it is. Its recommendation are not binding. So third is wrong. Answer is C2 only, as stated by Jiva and Anandu, Mamta, Shripanna, and Rishi. Very good. Page number 1. First article, like this article is one of the more important article of the day. But why I'm covering at the last? Because we have already talked about GST, man, indirect tax, subsuming so many indirect taxes, one nation, one tax, although there were multiple tax slabs now. So what has happened now? Most of the goods will be under 5 and 18% tax bracket. 101 Constitutional Amendment Act. Then you have GST Council under Article 279A. GST Council Article 279A. And in GST Council, central government, they have 33% vote and states have 67% votes. Things, if they have to pass through in GST Council, it needs 75% votes. So we have talked about these things, and that's why I kept this article at the end, because anyway we have talked a lot about GST. How much more we'll talk about GST? But yes, GST is very important. Multiple mains questions have been asked by UPSC. Solve those mains question. This is your homework for today. Solve the multiple mains question asked by UPSC on GST. Pre is fine, but we have to clear mains to get our rank. So GST Council 56th meeting happened. We have talked about this thing. There were talks going on earlier in the previous Hindu analysis. We have discussed how they wanted to put maximum goods under 5 and 18% tax bracket. And we have also talked about the other implications. This will lead to a loss of a huge revenue loss for government. But why is Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am, why is Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am willing to incur such huge revenue loss? Because they feel like if the tax rate is reduced, people will consume more, thereby offsetting the revenue loss. The second point is tariff. We have talked about this also in previous Hindu analysis. Donald Trump tariff. Because of that, and sir, mine is Shri Purna, not Shri Parna. Your name is Biswas. So what we are discussing, tariff. Donald Trump has imposed a lot of tariffs which will impact our export sector. So we want to increase domestic consumption, and when we are reducing GST rates and when we are putting maximum goods under 5 and 18%, 28% goods under 18%, 12% goods under 5%, we will increase domestic consumption, thereby in a way offsetting the tariff thing which has been done. When we are increasing domestic consumption, we will not need a lot of export. We will increase the consumption in our country only. So there are so many implications of why this thing has happened. Why is government willing to incur so much losses? Please understand this thing. 40% special rate also, apart from 5 and 18 for gutka. Please don't eat gutka, Mamta, Shripurna, and Rishi and others. Anandu, gutka is bad. 40% special rate. And then again, you can have a look at this. We don't have helicopters, so we don't need to worry about it. Okay, let's focus. So estimated revenue loss 48,000 crore. But why is government willing to take it? Because they feel like if there is higher consumption, some of the loss will be offsetted. And the second point is we need to take care of the Donald Trump tariff thing. Exports have been hampered, but these exporters, if their goods are consumed within the country only, their loss will be somewhat lesser. And how it will be consumed within the country only? If the tax rate are lesser, people will be incentivized to spend more of their income. So hope you're understanding. Not Shriparna, Shriparna Vishwas, not it's only Vishwas. So yeah, relief for common man. So many items are there in 5% tax slab. You can have a look at this. Major rate cuts, blah blah blah. I'm not reading these things. This is not important. You can have a look at the things which are there. Maybe in some other exam they can ask you which is under which tax bracket. But we have to understand the basic intricacies. GST indirect tax 279A, GST council, votage, like weightage of center and state, 101 Constitutional Amendment Act 5 and 18%, why this thing has happened, the reason behind it, the rationale behind it. Do remember these cold drinks, etc. They will be put under 40% tax slab. These Monster Energy drink or Red Bull Energy drink, they are under 40% tax slab. So they will be expensive now. Not good for me because I thrive on these things, you know. So for me, it's a bad thing. 40% tax slab for cold drinks and all. Let's solve MCQ 10 of the day. Sir, no good ka but pan. Very good, Mamta. But sir, SRK Najan Juba Kesri. Juba Kesri is like, you know, evergreen. We should have our Juba Kesri. Juba Kesri. So yes, sir, NHRC of India can inquire into human rights violation complaints only if the incident has occurred within 40%. Oh my God, yes. How many years from the date of filing the complaint? So the answer is 1 year as stated by Shriparna, Jivayan, Rishi and Mamta. Very good. PYQ 11. So this is a question based on GST which was asked by UPSC in 2017. What is are the most likely advantages of implementing GST? It will replace multiple taxes collected by multiple authorities and will thus create a single market in India. It will drastically reduce CAD, enable it to increase. It will enormously do option elimination. That will help you in solving this particular question. Very good, Jivayana. So, see, whenever you see these words, these are extreme words. Drastically, enormously. These are extreme words, bro. You are doing something, GST and all. Will it will we become bigger than China's income? How stupid is this? How stupid is this statement? How, you know, it has been framed in a stupid way. That is the correct way of putting it. So third is wrong. Eliminate third. You're left with A1 only. Even if you don't know anything about two, you'll be able to solve this UPSC PYQ. And the answer is A, as stated by Mamta, Shripurna, Vishwas, Rishi, and Jivayan. MCQ 12. For me, it would be huge shock that on pan masala 40% GST. Mamta, stop eating pan masala from now onwards. No, no more Juba Kesri. No more Juba. So GST Council decision require at least 75% of weighted votes. Center has 1/3. States together have 2/3 of the votes. So Mamta and Rishi, they have given the answer. Jivayana has given the answer. Shri Purna has given the answer. Purna. Think about it. This is your homework. MCQ 13. Which of the following judgments introduced the concept of creamy layer in India? Anandu has given the answer. Anandu is very smart. I don't know why you people went with B. We'll have a discussion tomorrow, Mamta, Rishi, and please don't follow the herd mentality. I keep on telling you people, you know. Which of the following judgments introduced the concept of creamy layer in India? Balaji versus Mysore, State of Kerala versus N.M. Thomas, Indra Sani, Janhit Abhiyan. So again, this is also homework. So MCQ 12 and 13, we'll discuss it tomorrow first thing. And in the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm dependent so much on you people, word of mouth. And yeah, you can join my Telegram family. It's inactive, but if anything comes up, I'm not there for some day or something, I will inform in this Telegram channel. So you will be informed here. So yeah, you can be a part of this family Telegram channel. You can post your score, 13 questions, 11 classwork. What is your score of that? Out of that 11 questions. You can buy this PDF from me at 199 per month, thereby supporting me in this critical time period. You can also be a part of my mentorship program, as I have told you. 4999, no time limit till the time you crack UPSC CSE. I'm there for you. And yeah, you can also donate. So anything, oh my God. Thank you, Shiparna. Thank you, everyone. And I will meet you people tomorrow at 8 a.m. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye. If you have any queries, whenever I'm, ending the session, you can always tell me, wait, sir, I have some queries.